Welcome back to the Fertility with Jaya podcast. Today I'm talking to you about how to find your team. Sounds simple. It's not so simple. And it's actually what I spend a lot of my time helping my one-to-one patients navigate because it's a big deal. And I think that if you do not have the right team behind you and you don't get it right, it can add on months, years to your fertility journey, but it can also increase your stress and make it that much harder. So I'm going to explain how to find your perfect team, how to know if they're the right fit for you, and the things that you need to be really looking for when you do this. Because this is the foundational work. Getting the right team behind you is so important because one, they're not even just helping you on the journey that's right for you, they're also supporting you in the way that you need to be supported. And honestly, that looks different for everyone. So what I want you to know is that the right doctor for you might not be the person that has the best Instagram following, that has the prettiest clinic, or who your best friend recommended. Because quite often we doctor shop and we pick our team based on who someone at work saw and they had a good result with, or even just going to your doctor and they are friends with that doctor or that fertility specialist, and then they make that recommendation and go from there. But it's actually a lot more nuanced than that. Because here's the thing, you're unique and so are your needs in terms of your fertility. So your friend that had a great result with that doctor might have had a completely different story. And I think what people don't realize is that all of the fertility specialists have different takes on fertility. They are conservative, or they're willing to try different things. They only practice evidence-based medicine, or they're willing to look at new and upcoming things, or they will have a completely different take. But also, what are their beliefs? What are their personality? All of this matters. So how you feel about your specialist, how you connect with them, that's important. Because if you don't have good communication with them and you don't trust them, then you're doomed from day one, honestly. Because you need to be able to put your trust in your doctor and to know they've got me. I feel like they have my best interest and they're really thinking about what my needs are. And honestly, the same thing goes for your naturopath, your nutritionist, your acupuncturist. And what I like to see is that, one, you feel completely supported by your team. And two, you're not sitting in the middle between your team. What I mean by that is that, your acupuncturist is saying one thing, your nutritionist is saying a different thing, and then your doctor is saying a completely different thing. And you're sitting in the middle and you're wondering, what the hell do I do now? Because I'm confused and I'm overwhelmed. And now I'm completely anxious because if I feel like I don't do all of these things, it's not going to happen. Because really, the perfect team are all talking together, supporting you. And this is what I encourage all of the couples I work with to do. It's to find the right team and make sure they're all talking together. I think it's also important to know that just because you're seeing someone who specializes in fertility, whether it's natural or medical, it doesn't mean they're all doing the same thing. So it's really important to understand where you sit on the spectrum of natural and medical. So personally, I feel like with the work that I do, I sit really in the middle between natural and conventional medicine. I love aspects of natural medicine, and then I really love aspects of conventional medicine. And what I really do with my clients is I'm really helping them navigate both worlds, going, how can we get the best of both worlds? How can we get the result faster and along your own timeline? So I take emotional stretch into it as well. And I go, okay, in terms of where you're at right now in your journey, do you feel like you've got another 3 months before you lose your mind? Or have you got another 6 months? How much preparation do you want to do beforehand? I factor all of this in when we're making the plan. So you feel like that plan is perfect for you, but it's also achievable. I also know that I'm ticking off the things that are really important. And I also know that we've got you in a good team medically, that if we need to action a few things, they've got you there too. So I think it's important that you figure out how natural you are and how medical you are, because you might be someone who says, no matter what, I want to do everything naturally. I don't care how long it takes. I want to avoid anything medical, taking any drugs or heading down that IVF path. And there are so many practitioners out there who are doing that exact thing. Personally, I'm not your perfect person for that. And I know that I tend to attract the people that are perfect to work with me. Maybe it's a mirror reflection here, but they're generally always type A. They really want to try natural things, but they're really not opposed to trying things medically as well. And that's where I really sit as well. So I feel like I'm the perfect person to guide those people. On the other end, if you are completely medical and you don't want to do anything naturally, you just go and find your doctor that is going to support that. And it's not about judgment. So it doesn't matter how you do it. It's about finding the right people that share your values. Because I think a lot of women I see, sometimes they feel shame that they have been trying everything naturally, working on their diet, taking their supplements, but they also want to try letrozole. Leave the judgment at the door. It doesn't matter. There is no shame in wanting to try things medically alongside your journey naturally. And you're not a failure if you didn't happen to ovulate with all the work that you're doing, or you've got hideously long cycles and you are drowning every month because they're so long and it's draining your soul. So if you feel like you need to do something to then shorten that, I help people find the right fit for them in terms of that as well. So when you're building your team, I think it's always important to find someone who's going to help you with the functional testing and look at the natural side first. And that's part of your preparation. And that could be a nutritionist, a naturopath, a fertility acupuncturist who's done extra training in all the tests, or someone that along those lines. Because I find that when people just go to their GPs or they go into their fertility specialist, what that comprehensive testing will look like is a lot more limited than, say, what we would normally do. Getting that ticked off first, spending that good 3 to 6 months in that preparation, going, what do I need to be doing in my lifestyle? What do I need to be, supplements do I need to be taking? What testing do I need to look at that could be a challenge to me falling pregnant? And getting all of this in alignment before you see your fertility specialist can make a massive difference to the results that you get. And I will often see people who have been on the journey with a fertility specialist first, and then we have to come back to the beginning and do this work first. And then when they go back, and if they need to, the results are completely different. So if you are in your journey already or you're at the beginning, definitely do that first and then build on your team from there. When I talk about your team talking together, I mean I will write letters to doctors, other practitioners all the time. I will talk to them about what's going on, what I think needs to happen, and I'm also really respectful of each profession. I would never overstep a medical doctor and say, I think you should be doing this, this, and this, because it's really not my place. But I open up the conversation in a way that is respectful. So when you have a team that's talking together, it's not about one person being top dog and talking over the others. It's about having respect for each person because we all have different toolkits and we all have a common goal, which is to get you pregnant. I think the magic is in bringing all these different toolkits together, because where one really excels, another one is filling in the gaps of what's missing. So we have this perfect combination. And honestly, when we have a team that really is talking to each other and respecting each other, you as the patient feel so supported. And I think the biggest thing as well is the mental load's dropping down, you're feeling calmer in the whole process, and you know what your next steps are. And that is the missing part of fertility. What I see when people don't have the right team is they're stuck with a doctor who they don't align with, and it's often a personality clash. They don't feel heard, they don't feel seen, they start to resent their doctor, or they're going through the motions again and again and again with no changes, and they feel too scared to leave and get a second opinion. Because too often we think, oh, but they know me and it's going to be too hard to start again. And I want you to know that it's not about starting again. And often you're not starting again. Sometimes a fresh set of eyes is exactly what you need. And I have seen it again and again and again when they feel so grateful to have tried something different. Another thing you need to think about is how much support do you need? For some people, they need minimal check-ins. They just need a little bit of a plan and off they go and then they're good. For other people, they need a lot more support. So when I work with people one-to-one in my programs, I offer a lot of support because I feel like it's a missing piece of a lot of the people that I see. And that looks like text and email support where they can basically text me any day and we action things straight away. It's something that I offer because I think it's the particular type of people I see as well, is that when we're working week to week, or let's say you've got an appointment in 3 weeks' time, but a lot's happened in between that should have been actioned or that could have been actioned, is that we're losing months. And for those people that want to get it done quickly, do what would normally take 8 months in 3 to 4 months, that's what I offer in terms of fast tracking. It's not for everyone though. It can be overwhelming. It can be too much. So figuring out what kind of support you're looking for is really important because you can get it. It doesn't mean that if you're seeing someone and you feel like you're not seeing them enough or you're not getting enough contact, then that's it. There's variabilities in what you can get. And this is another thing, is not settling if it doesn't feel right for you. When you have that first consultation with your practitioner, whether it's natural or whether it's a doctor, they're essentially working for you. But it's also a time to see if you both align. And if in that first consultation, you're like, I didn't like her, I didn't like him, we didn't vibe, it was awkward, don't go there. Try someone else, because in the long run, it's going to be better for you. I think you know when it's right, because when you walk away from that consult, it's like you can breathe again. You go, oh my God, I'm excited to work with them. I feel so good about this. I'm excited about what we're going to find out or the next steps. Like, that's a really good sign that you're heading in the right direction. Lastly, I want to say that if you're working with practitioners and they're talking about you, but they're not including your partner in the plan, that's a little bit of a red flag for me. Male factor infertility is a really big deal. And I always, and it's a non-negotiable, treat both people in the relationship at the same time. And that's if they're in a heterosexual relationship, we want to be putting you and him on a plan straight away. Because male fertility is not in a great place now. And if we do all of this work on you and you spend months doing prep and he just does a sperm test once and that's it, that's not enough. He needs to be doing testing. He needs to be on a plan with you. And not only that, to just get better results, is that once he does that, he's part of the team. I think this is a key difference of why now when I'm working people in a program, they're getting such better results. And I think it's the missing piece of the puzzle here. Because not only is he improving his sperm quality and improving his overall health, and he's 50% of the equation when it comes to getting pregnant, but also all of a sudden he's on board. He's like, what can I do? Oh, I'm taking my supplements too. I'm doing all these things to improve my health so that we can have a baby. And what I see is that you all of a sudden go, oh my God, we're in it together. I'm not the only one who's carrying everything. I'm not the only one that is wondering what we should be doing next. How do I book all these appointments? We need to keep the schedule going. And he's really checked out because he's not really involved in it. So having him involved in a really big way makes a big difference to how you feel. But it also should be included as part of that support. Whether whoever you're seeing is addressing you as a couple or he's booking his own appointments to see someone to improve his fertility. However it looks, it doesn't matter as long as you're both doing it together. So just a little recap. Find a doctor that you like. Find a doctor that works in the area and potentially specializes in what you think your problem is. Whether it's endo, whether you're having a recurrent miscarriage or you're over 40, it's an egg quality issue, or it's male factor infertility, each doctor has a different view on things. So ask all the questions. Go into your appointment geared with questions and see how they respond to it and whether they're open to having these conversations, because that will also dictate how you feel about it. Find your team that are talking to each other. Find someone who can offer the level of support that you need. And don't feel ashamed about how you want to go along your journey. I think knowing where you sit and then finding someone who aligns with that is the perfect relationship that then makes you just progress faster and faster and faster. Okay, I'm going to wrap that up there. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.